Have you ever asked yourself, am I truly happy? Do you believe you have everything you need to feel content and joyful? If your answer to both questions is no, you're not alone, but you might be mistaken. Yes, you might feel unhappy, but you already have everything you need to be happy. The only problem is that you don't know where to find it. Happiness doesn't come from buying new clothes or achieving more milestones. True happiness comes from looking within yourself and recognizing that you are enough. In this summary, you will discover how to find happiness and set yourself up for satisfaction in the workplace. Imagine waking up every morning excited about your day, both at work and at home. Your happiness at work is just as crucial as your happiness at home. Spending most of your time at the office means you need to ensure it's a positive environment, so your home life remains fulfilling and joyful. This summary will reveal the fundamental factors of happiness and show you how to apply each principle in your work setting. If you're tired of daily complaints and want to start feeling genuinely happy at work, stay with us. Let's embark on this journey together to transform your work life and unlock the happiness you deserve. Create your own definition of happiness. Everyone wants to be happy. It's the one thing everyone strives to attain. We work, socialize, and relax because we want to experience happiness in our hearts. However, happiness is perceived differently by everyone. For some, it might be having enough food to eat. For others, it could be buying the latest gadgets. We all focus on different things to make ourselves happy. Many people struggle to find happiness in their lives. Only a few have mastered the way to attain it. Most people look for happiness in the wrong places. To truly be happy, you need to find your source from within. The first step towards happiness is asking yourself if you are happy. This might surprise you, but most people don't realize they are unhappy until someone else points it out. Our level of happiness is influenced by various factors in our lives. It is determined by how we feel about ourselves, our relationships, and our work. It's not just about how you look or how you feel at home. Your experiences at work also impact your level of happiness. Most people are so busy working that they don't think about their personal lives. They work 8-hour jobs and even do overtime when their boss asks. Spending so much time in an environment that isn't right for us makes us irritable and angry when we get home. This concept works both ways. When the atmosphere at home is not good, we also feel negative at work. The key to true happiness is balancing happiness in all the environments where we spend time. We need to feel positive in different situations. Most people don't know what makes them happy. They just say they want a comfortable and pleasant life. But you can't be satisfied if you don't know what that means. You need to identify the cause of your happiness. Our definition of happiness can change over time. At one point, it might just be about work. At another time, it could be about our families. The author of this book, Beth Thomas, has experienced this change herself. Here is a story of how she left her dream job to stay home with her daughter. Beth was enjoying a good period in her life. She was on the path to starting her own consulting firm after progressing from small consulting jobs. However, to do this, she needed deep knowledge of the field and its techniques. So, Beth took a job at an international brokerage firm and spent the best years of her life there. Beth was always traveling. She had meetings in different countries and was rarely home. Beth and her husband had a 3-year-old daughter. Whenever she traveled, she left her daughter at her parents' house for a few days. One day, Beth was in England, negotiating a business deal with another company. Before going to bed, she called her daughter Amanda to say goodnight. However, when Amanda answered the phone, she started crying and shouting. Beth asked her what was wrong, and Amanda said she missed her mom. In that moment, everything changed for Beth. Instead of feeling happy with her job, she felt trapped and angry. She wanted to go home and be with Amanda. Beth realized she had been focusing on the wrong things. If she continued with her busy routine, she would miss many precious moments with her daughter, and she didn't want that to happen. Beth immediately quit her job and stayed with her daughter as long as she needed her. At that time, her family was the most important thing to Beth. Most people think having everything will make them happy. However, greed is not the path to happiness. You need to know what you truly want. Focus on things that will keep you happy in the long run. Choose happiness and make it happen. Happiness doesn't come easily. If it did, people wouldn't work so hard to find it. Happiness is a choice and an unwavering belief. Not everyone knows how to unlock it, and most people spend their lives trying to find it. In this chapter, we will learn how to find happiness in our daily lives. While searching for long-lasting happiness, we will discuss how to apply practical techniques in your work life. It is essential to balance your personal and work experiences. This chapter will teach you how to work and adapt while seeking happiness. Happiness doesn't come overnight. It is a mindset and a way of living. Being powered by happiness means knowing how to deal with everything around you. You can't let any difficulty overpower you. You should embrace life as it is and what it gives you. Happy people don't always smile. They have bad days too, but they know how to look towards the light. Happy people can face and adapt to unwanted changes in their lives. Your definition of happiness should be shaped by your thoughts. Relying on others only gives them the power to decide how you feel. Let's explore the story of Katie and her struggles at work, which arose from her excessive reliance on the people around her. Katie was one of the best employees in her company. She was a good leader in the information systems department. After every project, Katie sent a copy of her output to two managers she was close to. They constantly praised her work and reassured her that she was doing a great job. A year later, the managers Katie depended on were transferred to different locations. Now, Katie was alone and working in an environment where she knew no one but herself. This change took a lot from Katie. She felt lost and hopeless. Most importantly, Katie was unhappy. There was no one to guide her or tell her she had done a good job. Katie even thought about quitting her job. However, she decided to change her perspective and find motivation within herself. In this story, you can see that Katie's definition of happiness was getting praise from her bosses. Her encouragement was the reason behind Katie's success. When the transfer happened, Katie felt she had no motivation to continue working. That's why you shouldn't depend on others for your happiness, and should always find it within yourself. Going through difficult situations can hold you back for some time, but the important thing is to know how to rise above them. There are two things to remember when going through tough times. First, understand that everything happens for a reason. Second, there is always a lesson to be learned in the end. Happiness can be found even in difficult situations. You just need to look in the right places. Here are 7 techniques to keep yourself happy even during tough times. The first technique is to be realistic as well as optimistic. You need to learn to apply both simultaneously in a challenging situation. Being realistic means knowing that it's okay to feel sad or angry. Being optimistic means understanding that bad feelings won't last forever. They will eventually fade away. This will help you return to normal and move forward. The second technique is to be aware of how you work or behave. You control your actions, no one else. When you maintain a positive outlook, you prevent others from bringing negativity into your life. Try to manage your emotions and maintain a good attitude when dealing with others. Don't make the situation worse by bringing in more negativity. The third technique is to maintain a positive perspective. Don't expect the worst from others and try to trust them. Most of the time, we misunderstand people because of their actions. Try to clarify things before reacting. The fourth technique is to think about the worst-case scenario. Once you realize things are not as bad as they seem, you start to feel relief and hope. Many things can go wrong, but they haven't, so learn to be grateful for that. The fifth technique is to deal with things one at a time. While multitasking is possible, it's not always effective. People feel overwhelmed by their emotions, especially when dealing with a problem. Taking things slowly will keep your mind clear about what you need to do. The sixth technique is to seek help from others. No one can stay alone. We all need each other's help to get through difficult times. Having a support system makes things easier and lighter for you. Your loved ones can help lighten your burden. The final technique is to meditate. People get so busy handling problems that they forget to take care of themselves. Meditating helps you reconnect with your soul and calm your body and mind. Remember, happiness is something you must choose and work towards. If others can be happy, so can you. Minimizing worry and negative thoughts. Worrying and harboring negative thoughts are bad habits that many people have. These habits adversely affect your ability to be happy and your behavior. Worrying is the first thing employees should avoid in the workplace. It hampers their success and performance in achieving their goals. This chapter will teach us how to control our worries and fears. Happiness, especially in the workplace, can be pushed aside when we have too many negative emotions. Here, we will learn how to deal with these emotions. Negative emotions are a natural part of life. At some point, everyone will feel sad, angry, disappointed, and worried. However, letting your worries dominate your life is not natural. When you do that, you let negativity take over and miss out on opportunities to be happy. We've already discussed that happiness is a choice in a person's life. Now, we are telling you that worrying is also a choice. We have complete control over our emotions, and most people don't realize this. Instead of managing how we feel, we let our emotions control us. There are two types of negative thoughts that you need to understand. The first is based on facts and evidence, and the second is based on imagination. Both are valid and understandable, but they require different approaches to handle. Let's see how we can deal with these thoughts one by one. Dealing with fact-based negative thoughts can be quite challenging. You already know that what you are worried about is true. Therefore, you need to differentiate between what you can control and what you cannot. For instance, situations that trigger these thoughts might include a serious illness, losing a job, or having a significant loan. When you don't know how to control your negative thoughts during such times, fear and anxiety can paralyze you. Understanding what you can control and what you can't helps you realize what you can do to improve the situation. It's better to focus your energy on things you can change rather than on things you can't. Lisa's situation is an example of this. At the beginning of the year, Lisa had a well-paying job. She and her husband bought a $1 million house and enrolled their daughter in an expensive school. However, mid-year, Lisa was suddenly laid off. Without a stable income, she began worrying about many things, especially providing for her family. On the first day, Lisa felt depressed and unmotivated. She didn't get out of bed and continued worrying about her family. But the next day, Lisa decided to take action. She realized that worrying wouldn't change anything. So she made a plan, updated her resume, and contacted several companies. 6 weeks later, Lisa landed her dream job. It was much better than her previous one and allowed her more time with her family. This story shows that negative emotions bring nothing but negative behavior. However, if we turn those negative thoughts into hope, we can find a better path and an opportunity to grow. Negative thoughts can also come from your imagination. These thoughts are among the most common problems people face. Most of the time, we are responsible for our worries. The concerns we create are often far from what will actually happen. When Lisa was working at her new company, she experienced these thoughts. Let's see what she did and how she overcame them. Lisa presented a proposal at her company's monthly meeting. She was working on a project that could generate thousands of dollars. However, after her presentation, her boss had nothing to say except for some revisions Lisa needed to make. Her boss said everything Lisa had done was wrong and that no one should follow her report. Lisa felt shocked and embarrassed. She spent the next few days creating a new proposal and worrying about what her boss would think. When Lisa presented her new proposal, her boss was completely silent. So for the next 2 months, Lisa worried that she would never meet the expectations. Finally, Lisa mustered the courage to ask her boss for feedback. She apologized for her first proposal and promised to perform better. However, her boss apologized to Lisa, admitting that she shouldn't have acted that way. She told Lisa that her new proposal was exactly what she wanted, but forgot to provide feedback due to her busy schedule. This story illustrates how much time you can waste worrying. The worries you create often aren't even real. Instead of dwelling on them, try to dispel these concerns. Turn them into positive thoughts or eliminate them from your mind. Take the out of unhappy and be grateful. When you think about being happy, what comes to your mind? Most people believe that happiness lies in the ability to focus on the positive side of things. While there is some truth to this, it's much more than most people think. Happiness is not just about seeing the positive side. It's also about how you handle the whole situation. In this chapter, we will explore how to turn sadness into happiness and try to remain happy despite the negative factors in life. We will delve into fixing what makes us unhappy and learn how to be more grateful for life. The first thing you need to do is define what makes you unhappy. Just like in the process of finding happiness, you need to identify the things that make you unhappy. Finding the root cause of your sadness allows you to address everything you feel. If you think ignoring what makes you unhappy is satisfying, imagine how happy you will be once you eliminate those factors. Take a piece of paper and list the things that make you unhappy. Next to them, write down what you think will help resolve these issues. For example, you might say that since joining your new company, a colleague has been betraying your trust. One way to address this is to talk to your colleague directly and try to become friends. Solving your problems instead of ignoring them gives you a much deeper source of happiness. Rather than feeling good on a superficial level, you can experience it more profoundly. After solving your problems, learn to prioritize yourself in the future. Here are some tips to avoid struggles and live a peaceful life. Live in the present. Allow yourself to feel how you want to feel. Happiness doesn't mean smiling or laughing all the time. It's about learning to balance both positive and negative emotions. Learn to work under pressure. People become unhappy when they have too much on their plate. The result is that they stop and give up. Learn to give yourself more time and manage your projects wisely. Prioritize your tasks based on their urgency. Face challenges positively. If you want to live a peaceful life, you must learn to embrace negative situations. You can't completely eliminate problems from your life. Instead, control how you deal with them and find things that can lift your mood. These tips aim to help you feel good even in difficult situations. However, the biggest secret to dealing with sadness is learning to be grateful. This section will focus on using gratitude and appreciation to turn negativity into positivity. By now, you've probably heard about the power of gratitude. Let's delve deeper into it and see how you can apply it. Gratitude has become a popular concept for a reason. It has taught people to change their perspective on life and appreciate things more. Gratitude eliminates sadness and dissatisfaction. When you are grateful for what you have, you don't wander off in search of more. You might be surprised to think that your life has many good things. If you have a happy family and a lovely home, you have much more than most people. The simple fact that you are living a new day is something to be grateful for. When you see how many good things you have, you become more protective and strive to maintain them. Another thing gratitude does is put us in the right place. We may not realize it, but we often live in places that make us unhappy. Let me share the story of Jake and his feelings when he started practicing gratitude. It led him to find true happiness and take action before it was too late. Jake was the CFO of the company where Beth used to work. From the outside, it looked like Jake had everything. Everyone envied him and his career. However, one day, Beth and Jake had a conversation, and he revealed that he missed his wife and children very much. Jake said that in a short time, both of his daughters would be going to college and living away from home. Beth shared her father's story with Jake. She told him that her father worked constantly and never had time for her or her mother. Eventually, her father died without spending the money he had worked so hard to earn. Beth's only wish was that her father had spent more time with her on weekends instead of going to work. A few months later, Beth heard from her colleagues that Jake had quit his job. She immediately called Jake, and he confirmed the news. Jake said, "Thank you for telling me what I needed to hear. I was grateful for this job, but I am more grateful for having my daughters in my life. Now, he is living the best life with his family, which he feared losing due to his work." When all else fails, just laugh. Beth doesn't claim to know everything about happiness. Maybe millions of people have more experience than she does. However, Beth wrote a book that guides people towards happiness because she believes she has a powerful tool to achieve it. Beth's secret weapon, which can turn any situation into a happy one, is laughter. To be happy, you don't need to know everything in life. To be happy, you simply need to laugh when others might not feel like laughing. Laughter is a contagious form of happiness that spreads easily. When you use it to your advantage, you'll find yourself in a better environment. Laughter is the best medicine for sadness, and this has been proven. It has both emotional and physical benefits. According to Eric Chudler, a neuroscientist at the University of Washington, laughter strengthens your immune system, reduces muscle tension, and lowers blood pressure. You don't need other people to laugh heartily. Laughing alone is not wrong. You can entertain yourself with movies, podcasts, or books. Once others see you laughing, they will be motivated to do the same. You can laugh or smile in any environment. Whether at school, work, or home, try to share a laugh with someone else. You'll see that laughter can reduce tension with friends and colleagues. If you find yourself in a difficult place, find a way to laugh it off. The best way to handle an embarrassing moment is to find something to laugh about. Laughter cures all negative emotions and is particularly helpful in combating embarrassment. Beth has faced many embarrassing moments in her life. Instead of being sad about them, she managed to laugh them off. Let's hear one of Beth's embarrassing moments and see how she overcame it. One day, Beth was running late for a meeting at the office. It was her first day back at work after maternity leave, so she struggled to get through her morning routine as smoothly as she wanted. Before work, Beth had to wake up her baby, dress them, and feed them before dropping them off at daycare. After doing all this, Beth realized she had only 30 minutes left before her meeting started. She quickly got into her car and headed to the daycare to drop off her baby. On her way to the office, Beth noticed her car's gas light was on. With less than 10 minutes left before the meeting, she had to stop at a nearby station to fill up her tank. While filling up, Beth realized that the station only accepted cash, and for some reason, she didn't have any cash on her. So, she went to the clerk and negotiated to leave her license there and return later with the cash. After the clerk agreed, Beth returned to her car to head to the office. As she started to drive off, she heard a loud noise next to her car and stopped. Beth stepped out to check and realized she had forgotten to remove the gas pump from her car before driving off. The gas pump had broken off from the machine, and gas was leaking everywhere. When the manager came out to check the accident, Beth laughed in embarrassment and asked if they had insurance. Once everything was sorted out at the gas station, Beth headed to work and gave her presentation. Her clothes still smelled of gas, making everyone think there was a gas leak in the building. After her presentation, Beth went to her boss and explained what had happened that morning. When she finished, her boss laughed it off and told her to be more careful next time. This story shows how laughter helped Beth solve two problems. One with the gas station manager and the other with her boss. When everything else fails to lighten a situation, try to laugh it off. Often, laughter is all it takes to improve everyone's mood. That's why they say, laughter is the best medicine. Pack up your happiness and take it to work. Finding happiness at work is crucial because it's where you spend most of your time outside of home. If you haven't mastered the art of controlling your emotions, minor issues at work can ruin your time at home. We are not trying to eliminate frustration at work. The goal is to minimize it as much as possible. Your attitude towards work could be a reason why you find it difficult to continue. For you, work might be essential just to earn a living. However, for some people, their work is their passion and dream. To be happy at the workplace, it is essential to find a job that motivates you. When you do something you don't enjoy, it's no surprise that you don't like spending time there. However, not everyone has job satisfaction. If you can't leave the job you are stuck in, try to find a good reason to stay in it. No matter your situation at work, never forget that you can be happy. You don't need to convince the people around you. Your happiness is within your control. No one else has the power to change it but you. Spreading happiness at the workplace is also a way to make things lighter and easier. Remember, your colleagues are part of how you feel at work. So if you want to increase your happiness, you need to make them happy too. Finding happiness at work doesn't mean just enduring all the difficulties imposed on you. Sometimes things get out of hand, and the only way to preserve your happiness is to quit the job. When Amy started working, she was a young business associate. She got a job at a well-known company and wanted to make a name for herself at the firm. However, after working for a few months, Amy noticed that the company culture was entirely different from what she had expected. The company valued overtime more than work efficiency. No matter how many tasks you completed, An employee who stayed in the office longer than you was always considered better. Amy had just become a mother. Naturally, she would finish all her work early to spend more time with her baby. However, this resulted in everyone else getting incentives except her. Amy thought she deserved a promotion for completing all those projects, yet her efforts were overlooked. The company culture started to bother Amy. She knew she could never be happy working in that environment, so she quit her job. A few months later, Amy found a job at a better company. There, her talents were recognized, and she felt happy and safe. This story shows how our happiness at work can impact our lives and choices. When you feel unappreciated at work, it's okay to leave and find something new. Your happiness matters more than what people say. If you prioritize your job satisfaction, you'll be happier in other areas of your life. Conclusion. First, you learned how to create your own definition of happiness. Don't focus on short-term happiness goals. Set continuous and sustainable happiness goals. You may have various definitions of happiness. Knowing what makes you happy is the first step in the process of creating it. Second, you explored the idea of choosing happiness and making it happen. Happiness comes from within. It is cultivated through constant effort and affirmations. Happiness is not about forgetting the sad parts of life. It's about learning to be happy despite them. Don't wait for others to make you happy. Do it yourself. Third, you understood how to reduce worry and avoid negative thoughts. Worry steals your happiness and prevents you from experiencing the joy you deserve. Instead of worrying, let go and spend your time living. Turn your negativity into opportunities. Fourth, this summary taught you how to deal effectively with your problems. Being happy means learning to manage and reduce negativity. We also discussed how gratitude can change a person's life. It gives you a better perspective and increases your chances of being happy. Fifth, the summary showed you that laughter is your greatest weapon against negativity. When everything else feels like a failure, try to lighten the mood with laughter. Laughter can help you get through challenging and embarrassing situations. It is more powerful than you might think. Finally, you learned about being happy at work. Your happiness at work affects your mood at home. To be generally happy, you need to create a good working environment. However, you don't always need to force yourself to be happy if you dislike the environment you are in. Sometimes, your happiness will lead you to seek new opportunities. Don't be afraid to follow it and take risks. When you apply the principles from this summary, your performance will improve, your chances of success will increase, and you will start enjoying your daily routine. Your company will see you as a valuable asset, and if you choose, you will have opportunities to grow in different businesses. Your happiness brings out the best in you, and everyone, especially you, will notice it. Once you learn the secret of being happy at work, you will be able to be happy in all aspects of your life. Remember, your happiness should be your top priority. Find your personal definition of happiness and strive to maintain it at all costs. Thank you for listening to this summary of Powered by Happy by Beth Thomas. I hope you found valuable insights and practical tips to enhance your happiness both at work and in life. Remember, happiness is a choice, and it starts from within. By defining your own happiness, managing your worries, and spreading positivity, you can transform your daily experiences and create a fulfilling and joyful life. If you enjoyed this summary and found it helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Audiobook 101 for more insightful summaries, Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Leave a comment below and share your thoughts or any personal experiences related to finding happiness at work. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for listening. Until next time, stay happy and keep smiling.